Good morning, peoples. This is the view we have looking out from the duck pond. Just as I zoom out, we can see one catamaran sailing out. Whoa, what a bucking bronco. A bit of swell coming into the river. And if you look straight out behind this one, going in and out of focus, I'll just give this a bump up just a fraction if I can. And it won't let me, now it will. Out there on the horizon is another yacht. Looks like he's heading north. Really cool, with the sun shining through the sail. Anyway, if anything else interesting pops up, I'll zoom back in just a little bit. Pan around to the right. Yep, he's still rocking along, this little cat. Not sure where he's going, but by the looks of it, he's on a starboard tack, so the wind is in the south as he heads out, because he's running roughly east at this point in time, heading out through the Sea Reach. Anyway, on that note, I'll just set the camera up just somewhere there and you can watch him go off screen. As I said, if anything interesting comes along and I happen to have the camera pointing in the right place at the right time, you will get to see it. Well, I told you I'd come back if there was anything happening. We have probably one of the most common boats you're going to find in Australian waters. An aluminium runabout. Better known and better loved as a tinny. Heading out with a couple of guys on board. They probably outnumber every other boat at least 10 to 1. There's a couple of manufacturers here in Australia that export their product, or these type of boats, all over the world. They're a great little boat. The reason they're so popular is because they are as tough as hell. You can bounce them off the beach, you can bounce them off, well, anything short of rocks and oysters, and they stand up to it and are ready to take a lot more. They're such a popular boat because of the locations you can get them into. At the moment he's hiding right behind that pillar in front of the camera. Not sure which way he's heading, whether he's going to peel around to his port side and head upriver, or by the looks of it, he's not going to go upriver. He's going to head out to sea. This is going to be an interesting ride. If he goes out wide enough so we can see him over top of the rock wall, we'll see what sort of a ride that they have as they exit the river mouth. At the moment, he's powering along just behind the rock wall. If I can zoom in, get that the right tilt. Oh, there he is. Very interesting. Come on, focus, you little bugger. Oh, I wished I could hold this camera steady. He's jumping up and down, pounding out through that Coral Sea swell that's coming straight in the river mouth. Interesting though where these guys are off to. By the looks of what they were wearing, they're pretty serious fishermen, these guys. There is all sorts of equipment out here in the ocean. Monitoring equipment, wave monitoring buoys. If I zoom around this way, there's a yellow buoy right in the centre of the shot. That one there is a water quality monitoring station. It constantly downloads all the information on what is in the river water here in the river. It has a flashing white light on it as a top mark light to let everybody know it's there so no one runs over it in the middle of the night. It's on this side of the actual shipping channel. Anyway, I've got to run. Cheers. Those two vessels, one way out here that we could see the sun shining through the sails earlier, still happening that way a little bit, is moving north, and just back around to the right, when this thing stays in focus, is the second vessel that went out. The one we watched earlier in the shipping channel, in the Sea Reach I should say, and it is also heading north. They're approximately about 3 miles from where I'm standing right now, so this camera doesn't do a bad job. The zoom function on it is not too damn bad. I'll get him in the centre of the screen, just here somewhere. That's got him. Now I zoom a bit further. That's about the limit of it. Well, there you go. Those guys are having a bit of a rock and roll ride, but they're running off it and they will be fine. Well, there is an odd vessel out there on the water. Not sure whether you can see this one or not. It's going to focus on it. We have another runabout. A little bit different to the one that went out earlier. There he is, just in line with the end of the rock wall, just coming in. I zoom in a bit further. If this thing stays in focus, they've been out for a fish, probably found it's a bit too bumpy outside, so they're coming back into some sheltered waters. They're running along the northern rock wall on the Sea Reach. And good on them, right on the top of the tide. Our tide at the moment is running at 3.18 over top of the LAT, the lowest astronomical tide. That's a lot of water. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. He's very, very hard to pick up over there near the rock wall. No, there he is there, sorry. Just disappearing behind that tree. Now coming out from behind the tree. Surprise, surprise. I don't think it's the same vessel as earlier because there is another couple of cars over in the car park. I'll just pan back out, pan around, sorry. We're looking through several layers of glass here over top of the Old Lady Musgrave barge, over into the car park. There's a few more vehicles over there in the public car park with boat trailers on. I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in total. Not sure whether you can see this gentleman over there. What's going on with this thing? It's got it. He's actually got what could be a mud crab pot. He's got it set where he works. I dare say he's going to start work in probably the next half an hour. He's just checking it out just to see whether he's got any fresh mud crabs for his lunch. Good on him. That's the way to do it. If you're in the right place at the right time, you can do things like that. And we have another boat going out. A different one again. This guy looks like he's a solo fisherman. Just heading out into Hervey Bay waters. Right on the northern end, right where the Coral Sea meets Hervey Bay. And he's just sneaking out nice and gently, not pushing the boat, not knocking himself around or his equipment. Good on him. I don't know whether you can really focus on that horizon over the top of this boat going out, but there's quite a lump, as in a lot of swell, a lot of wind-driven slop and swell out wide, which wouldn't be a pleasant day for a small open boat like that one out wide. We do have some really good days up here more often than not, and you'll find them out all over the place fishing out wide. And this guy's just spun around and coming back in. Smart move, mate. Just a little bit too wild outside. The boat would handle it, the people on board would handle it, but it would not be comfortable for doing anything like fishing, crabbing, or whatever out there. It just would not be a nice day to be out there on the water. So he's sneaking back in, hugging this rock wall. You can just see the bimini over top of the rock wall. Smart move, mate. Not that it's unsafe out there, it's just not comfortable. So good on you. Same boat, well and truly inside the river now. Just having a little play around. Could be doing anything. Testing his depth sounder, his chart plotter, calibrating everything, ready for when the weather settles us down. When they go out fishing for real, or he goes out fishing for real. Just coming to the entrance into what we call the duck pond, the Old Town Marina. Looks like he's going across the entrance now. No, he's coming inside. That pillar's in the perfect position, isn't it? Right behind the pillar he is. Here he is, just coming back into view. Another plate alloy, or what we call a tinny, centre console with a spray guard on the bow. You can see that blue canvas spray guard got around the bow. Stops a bit of the splash when you're punching in to the sea. Anyway, he's back in safe and sound. Let's see what else the day brings us. Well, here comes another tinny. A little open aluminium runabout. Coming back into the duck pond. Looks like all the chickens are coming home to roost. Just to guess, I'd say this guy has been up to check his crab pots, upstream, upriver somewhere, and he's coming back in. Just had to laugh. Did you notice that? One of his dogs just jumped off the bow. Must be a bit of a ritual. The dog jumps off, swims into the little beach just the other side of the public pontoon and boat ramp. He's heading into that same location. I'll move this camera across. Not sure whether this is going to work, but there he is there. And just the other side of the boat, you can't see it in the water, is one of his dogs swimming to shore. Whether he knows about all the bull shark we're having around this location. But anyway, probably been doing it for years and getting away with it. Just escorted his dog into the beach. He's still got another dog on board. Or is it two people? No, I believe there is another dog hanging over the bow. And there are 2 people on board. Good on him. Anyway, let's hope they got themselves a feed of mud crab this morning. Let's see what else comes up this morning. The old barge or pontoon that used to be out in the Lady Musgrave Island Lagoon is now sitting out in front of the public wharf. I'd say this is most likely its final resting place. Just a guess. We pan around the duck pond, the old, what do you call it, Burnett Heads Marina. There's a little sloop out here. I remember towing that one into safety some time ago, just pre-COVID, because it had lost its rudder. He was heading north, the gentleman was heading north with it, and rumour has it he was going to deliver it up to the Louisiade Islands off the eastern end of New Guinea to give to the district nurses or doctors up there, the medicos, so they could travel around between the islands. And COVID happened and he never came back, and that little vessel's been sitting there ever since. So I'm not sure whether that's going to be the final resting place for this little boat. There we have a trimaran sitting out there, because it's very shallow water and only a trimaran could sit in that depth of water. At the moment he's got a couple of metres of water underneath him, but at low tide he's almost sitting on the mud. We pan around. Coming into view is the Burnett Heads Lighthouse on South Head. It really is a beautiful day here. It's coming up to that time of the year where we're starting to see a little bit more cloud cover, a little bit more activity as far as thunderstorms, rain, and some slightly stronger winds coming through from time to time. Like possibly the last week has been very windy here in this part of the world. We have another boat coming in. Another one been up checking his crab pots or nets. Once again, another tinny. Good to see that most people observe the 6 knot, no wake, speed limit as they come in to the boat ramp. Most likely another feed of beautiful mud crab heading to the cooking pot. Another boat coming into the boat ramp with a very large load of crab pots on board. So the word must be out, the crabs are on the move. Who knows, that's why they call it fishing and not catching. Fishing means you're looking for them and occasionally you'll catch some. Anyway, I have a little job to do right now, so I will catch you when I'm available.